Today we're talking about the music scene. This is going to be the first part of hopefully several episodes about our music scene. What the heck was that?
What was what?
Oh, I can hear your chair squeak or something. It was terrible. I'm gonna go back. Ask me the question again, if you will, sir.
What are we talking about today, Jordan?
Today we're talking about the music scene. So hopefully this is gonna be the first episode of many that we get to talk about music. Music is a passion of mine. I think it is yours too, Ryan.
Well, essentially, I'm talking about a venue. It's down in Newport. I guess I'll start. So this venue is called the Blue Beat, and it was really cool. So a little fun fact about the Blue Beat, it's 104 years old.
Oh, wow.
This place was way cool. It felt like, so it's a bar, essentially. You walk in, it's got that low lighting. I went in a little early. The bands don't start until around 7:30, so I just kind of hung out and looked at the place. It's really cool. They've got old pictures, some painted walls. They're really neat to look at. There's even an upper deck. So it's a two-story place, but there's essentially 3 stories because there's a first and a half story that you walk upstairs and you can see kind of from the lower floor.
Okay.
And there's an upper balcony that has a view of the water and the beach. So you could sit up there,
wow.
hang out, drink if you wanted to, and just watch the beach. You could watch the sun go down. It's a really cool area.
Now, what did you say that the name of this place was called again?
This is called the Blue Beat. Try to pay attention, Jordan. Jeez.
Sorry.
This
I got
is
the ADD pretty bad.
unacceptable. I was with 2 bartenders that I was talking to. We'll call them John and Tim.
Oh,
so
they weren't
Tim,
girls.
Or they might be. I don't know. These are anonymous people that I'm not using their real names. So Tim was the first person I talked to, and he kind of explained about the place, how it was 104 years old. It's been around forever. They've maintained it, but it's a really neat venue. So what I like about this place and why I think it's such a good music scene is they have music literally every night. Now, some of those are open mic nights where anybody can come in and sing, but they have music every single night. Most of them are local bands. Some of them are bigger. I've got a sheet of paper here that I'll put an actual picture of. But every Monday night, Mike Hamilton is there, who's apparently what does that say? That is a gold and platinum awarded guitarist and singer. So good for him. He's a well-earned musician. They circled a couple of the nights. They say Fridays and Saturdays are the best times to go, obviously. But the band that I saw was Red Shift Jazz, and they were good.
Red Shift Jazz.
Yeah, Red Shift Jazz. I'll put that up on the screen. He also mentioned this band by name. He said, these are the best guys in the world. They're not on this particular schedule. This goes all the way through the 31st of August. They're called Manila Fudge. So Manila Fudge, good job. Tim was very impressed by you guys. They got bands every night, usually some happy hours if you want to sit around and drink while you're watching. I think the happy hours end at 7, though, when the band starts at 7:30, so I don't think they're coordinated together. If you're not into drinking, they also have a full menu. I looked at the menu. I had me some sliders, which I'm going to have to say they were not very good. They were kind of dry. They had a small piece of cheese and a pickle that was larger than the patty of meat that was on these sliders. It was not that great. Sorry, guys. The fries were good. I ate the heck out of those fries. But the food looked decent. That's why I ordered. The sliders were about $10, so it was a little bit pricey. But it's worth it to go see the place. If nothing else, just check out the venue. It's so neat, and it sounds so historical. I mean, it's really neat. I'm going to talk about the band a little bit. The band was way cool. The jazz thing, they were instrumental. and they had a bass guitarist that would go to town.
Nice.
The lead was amazing, and but their lead singer was a saxophone player, and he was all over the map. He was so good. I was so impressed. So Redshift Jazz, good job, guys. I was way impressed by it.
What city did you say this was in?
This is down. It's right next to Newport Beach. So if you go check out Newport Beach, make sure you stop by the Blue Beat. It's a cool place.
Well, I went a little bit different route on my research. I saw a band. They were playing at a restaurant. The band is called Penny Creek. They're a 4-piece bluegrass band. There's a huge bluegrass movement in Florida, especially South Florida. South Florida has their own bluegrass association. They've been doing.
Ouchie.
From what I've been told, I got to talk to some of the people there, that the Bluegrass Association in South Florida has been going on for 40 plus years, where they've been holding bluegrass festivals, but lot of bluegrass in South, especially in South Florida. But this band was called Penny Creek. They were really, really good. Their banjo player was probably one of the best banjo players I've heard. He's super, super clean. He could fill in on it. Like, he was a lead guitarist. I could have bet money that his first instrument was electric guitar, and how he plays banjo, because he knew how to just fill in perfectly with what they were doing. The guitar player was I don't know if you've ever heard of Chet Atkins.
Yeah.
Probably, arguably the best guitarist to ever play. He had that kind of style. He had that finger style that was just syncopated. He was really, really good. And actually, his guitar sounded amazing. We were looking at his guitar, and we were sitting a couple booths back, so we weren't right on it, but we couldn't figure out what kind of guitar it was. So when they broke for the first set, I went up to where they were and looked at this guitar, and I didn't find any kind of label or anything on it. And I asked the lead singer, said, what kind of guitar is he playing? He said, he built this guitar. And I'm like, holy crap.
That's cool.
It sounded like a upper end Martin. It was incredible. The lead singer, which I thought was interesting, was their upright bass player. You know, a lot of bluegrass bands have upright basses. And so she's singing, and she was a pretty good singer, but she was getting to town on that upright bass. I'm gonna save the best part for last, but
Okay.
You're gonna get a kick out of this. But they were playing at this place called Meemaw's. It's a barbecue place in Palm Bay, Florida. It's been around. I don't know how long that the actual restaurant has been around, but Meemaw's, it's good barbecue. I'm not reviewing them at all. They have great service, but what I thought was super interesting is that Penny Creek, this band, has been playing at Meemaw's every Wednesday night for 5 years.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's commitment.
So they've said some of the members have changed in those 5 years, that they've had different players, but the main singer and the banjo player, and I think the guitar player too, all were a part of the main group that's been playing there forever. And I think their mandolin player hasn't been with them for very long, but they were incredible. They were great. So they broke for their first set. They played for about an hour, and their second set they came up, and there was about 6 more people up on the stage with them. And I'm like, is this a different band? Is it just a different, like, it's the same people, but there's more people. They open up their second set for anybody that wants to come play with them and jam. And so,
what?
Like, if you bring your guitar, you bring your fiddle, you bring your banjo, whatever you want to do, and they set you up with the in-ear monitor that has everybody in it. They set you up with wireless hookup for your instrument if your instrument has hookup, and they let you jam with them on their second set.
That is so neat.
It was so cool.
How
A couple.
jealous were you?
Oh, I thought it was super cool. I could have. They asked me to sing. They asked me to sing
They asked me to sing.
because they know my Uncle Tommy.
They know my Uncle Tommy.
He plays mandolin.
Oh.
Somebody got around to telling them that I sang, and they asked me to come up, and I just wasn't expecting that. So with them playing there for 5 years every Wednesday night, they've grown a fan club. So there was this group of probably I would say about 10 senior citizens sitting at this one table. When the banjo player would get out on a lead, they would hold up these signs, and it had the banjo. I don't remember the banjo's player's name, but it would say the banjo's player's name, fan club, and they would all hold up these signs and say yeah while he's playing. And yeah, and then when the singer starts singing, they hold up these signs that said, "What's her fan club?" And it was the greatest thing ever. And so I thought that was cracking me up the whole time, because these old people were just, they were having the time of their lives. And like I said, there was a new mandolin player, and they didn't know his name, so they had this sign like when he started playing, and all of them had it. They orchestrated this.
Wow.
They had this. They had these signs that said, "Play that mandolin, boy," and it was just fantastic. So there's this one particular song that the lead singer sings, "Plate Full of Possum" or something like that, and it's I had never heard it before, but evidently it's a staple at this restaurant. There was this old man who had been cracking me up the whole night. He was having the time of his life. When they started singing this song, he brought a paper mask of the lead singer and put it over his face and started singing this possum song. It was so, he stood up in front of everybody and he's singing this possum song. It was so amazing. And I mean, you could tell that they do this every time. Some of the nicest people, but it was a hoot. Like I said, that's at Mima's in Palm Bay, Florida. It's a little bit out of the way from Orlando, probably about an hour from Orlando. Definitely worth the drive. This band is great, and the people and the interaction is priceless.
Bring a sign when you go.
Bring a sign. They even had signs for the people jamming. They had signs that said "Special Guest Fan Club," and they'd all put them up when.
Oh my gosh!
They were on top of it. It was great. Hi, I'm Jordan. You might be wondering why the video stopped. That's because I'm a dummy and didn't plug my phone in, and so it died, and so for the rest of the video, there will be no video on my side. Hashtag professionalism. They were on top of it. It was great.
So Jordan, all in all, how would you rate Meemaw's Barbecue and their Wednesday night band?
You know, Meemaw's did a great job as being a venue. You know, like I didn't mention this, but the sound, the PA was spot on. They had great equipment. There was nothing that blared you out. We were sitting like 2 booths up and just comfortable listening music, and you could hear everyone, and it was great. And the band was great. You know, I would rate that experience a 9 out of 10.
I would say they earned it too. I mean, they've been working at that for 5 years.
Yeah. Okay, so what about you with the Blue Beat? What do you give it rating wise?
I'm gonna give it a solid 7.5. Reason being, the venue itself was neat, and the amount of bands that they have come through is just incredible. I mean, every single night, that's got to be hard to do.
Yeah.
However, the food and drink, I'm going to bring it down a little bit because it wasn't quite, you don't go there for the drink and the food. You go there for the bands, clearly. And the venue itself, it's really neat. So, Blue Beat, you got yourself a 7.5 out of 10.
Well, there you go. Well, Ryan, I had a lot of fun with this episode. I'm looking forward to doing more music
I am too.
scene episodes. But we will let y'all go for now. But I'm excited about what's coming up next.
Before we go, Jordan, I don't remember if before we started recording, you told me that you would do a little dance because people made it to the end.
I did not.
You did.
Yeah,
Remember? You said you were going to do the whip and nay-nay because everybody made it to the end. So
okay. Well,
if you could come through with yourself.
I'll do you one better. I will not do the whip and nay-nay. Watch me whip, now watch me nay nay. Now watch me whip, whip, watch me nay nay.